Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some really interesting news to go and cover over here, where we're actually now seeing a huge partnership with Sony themselves, the actual makers of the PlayStation 5, where they're now going to be trying their best to go compete with Tesla and these other like electric type of companies, by also then integrating their PlayStation 5 consoles into now brand new cars. We're going to go talk about this story because it's somewhat ingenious, but as well somewhat almost unrealistic, because I'm not really sure on how well this actually would work at the end of the day. But I kind of like seeing this because there's kind of a hand in hand, and gaming as a whole has kind of been integrated a lot in these types of Tesla cars, which we're going to talk about over here. And it's just kind of a weird news story. So as I talk about it, I'd love to have you guys give your thoughts and comments down below. And as well, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway, $500 giveaway or Xbox Series X giveaway, depending on whichever one you want to go pick. We have the Twitter and Twitch room down below if you guys want those bonus entries, and of course the Target and Amazon signups too. If you guys want to check those on out, all linked down below. So as you guys know, when it comes to Tesla and other various bigger car companies like a Ford, Hyundai, or whatever it might be, a lot of them are trying to push into either the hybrid sector or fully pushing to fully electric cars. Now, we've been seeing a lot more electric cars showing up, and as I'm sure a lot of you guys know, the Tesla side has kind of been a big major focus. They have the first mover advantage. They have various, basically things for other people to go and copy and also try to make better or worse, depending on what you want to look at it. And a big thing even in Tesla cars is there is a lot of gaming. Now, when it comes to gaming stuff, they funny enough have things and apps inside the internal front monitor, which in theory is kind of the combination of, as you're driving the car, if it is self-driving, you might be able to go and glance over at your front desk monitor and maybe look and see. More so though, this is usually for people in the back seat or the passenger side. So let's say like you want to pop on Netflix, put on a movie, you're road tripping or whatever it might be, but they also do physically have quite a few different games and also apps, etc. inside this that you could use in your Tesla car. Whether it's for whenever you're charging your car, so it takes sometimes a little while to go charge your car at charging dock stations, or maybe you're just stationary, maybe you're waiting for someone, maybe you're waiting for fast food, or like I said, maybe you're on a road trip and your passenger wants to go and use it. So it is being integrated already and it is already in the cars. But a big thing to kind of go and know is that gaming and also this kind of higher end technology sometimes does go hand in hand. And that kind of means the fact that a lot of these kind of gaming companies, you usually have a lot of folks that don't mind spending the extra money, think on like brand new GPUs, brand new phones, brand new computers, consoles, or whatever it may be, because you kind of want to have the latest tech and nicest tech, or whatever it might be. You have a lot of gamers, and I'm sure I myself am probably a prime example. I have spent a lot of money on my setup, on SSDs, on my my GPUs, whatever it may be. So now Sony is now partnering up with another very well-known brand, Hyundai. And they want to go then compete with Tesla by now putting their PlayStation 5 consoles in their now electric vehicles. So now Sony and Hyundai, Honda. Mobility's electric vehicles can now be seen even playing games such as Gran Turismo 7 inside the car. Now, some very intriguing things to note too is Gran Turismo is also one of Sony's best-selling unique IPs. So obviously folks out there in Japan, America, and especially in Europe, like Europeans love their cars, they're just familiar with the process. They don't mind really using this, and I think it's kind of a cool combination. So basically, Sony and Honda established a joint venture now called Sony Honda Mobility in September. The company doesn't yet have a brand name, funny enough, but it's kind of like a strategic partnership, and they were like, hey, if we can make a lot of money putting our stuff into your systems, and maybe you're giving us like $500 per console either way, and kind of elongates out our process, and we have more support, and you support it. It's kind of like, number one, you get these news stories, like all these PRs and me making this video, but then number two, you also get a lot of these other various things, such as people enjoying their cars better, or maybe expecting it as a premium, or they even see PlayStation consoles as more of a premium, because now they're in these fancy high-end electric vehicles. So basically, they don't have a brand name as of yet, but they have a dual venture, which they want to basically go compete with rival players in the electric vehicle market. One idea is building a car around the entertainment offerings Sony has become known for. Now, part two of this, because it could be a little bit bigger as well, is that the PlayStation console and PlayStation integration is obviously big. We also do have the technology for a pure PS5 Digital, which would probably make more sense in your car. Maybe you plug in your Wi-Fi from home, you update your console, download your game as you're charging your car or docking it, or some of these things also have 5G radius, where maybe your car has an internal internet system and you basically go and use this to then go and download your games as you're driving around, etc., etc. So speaking to the Financial Times, the heads of Sony Honda Mobility say they're planning to build an electric car around music, which once again is a bigger picture because Sony also has its own music studio and music catalog. So imagine an Apple Music, iTunes Music, Spotify, or whatever, just more so based on Sony's catalog in the car. They also have movies, which obviously Sony movies as well. And as I mentioned, a lot of Tesla cars do have their media station up in front, so you can play Netflix, other movies, etc. And then also integrating the PlayStation 5. Now, an even bigger part too, kind of tied in with more of the movie side and TV show side, don't forget Sony also does make things like speakers, I believe, and they for sure go make things like TVs. So now you imagine you have this kind of strategic partnership where Sony is like, hey, we can go and make the literal small TVs and monitors, either with our connections with other places such as Samsung, basically OLED providers, or whatever it may be, or as well just our own general HDR TVs, and then we can put these little mini monitors inside every Honda car. That's a big deal. That's saving a lot of money and also can maybe streamline millions of cars. And then same with the PlayStation 5. As I mentioned, they do have this PlayStation 5 pure digital tech already. So imagine you just have kind of a all-in-one built-in system where your PlayStation 5 digital is probably something slightly an alternate version of it, but probably similar, is fully tied in then to your car on your monitors made by Sony, and you're able to then use either Sony speakers or Sony music to go and make sure it's all good. So basically all these things are very nice because Sony has content with all the games, movies, etc., services, entertainment technologies that move people, also true, and they are adapting these assets to mobility. This is our strength against Tesla, President Izumi Kawashi told the Financial Times. It's all for a way for Sony and Honda to differentiate from Tesla and all the other various new electric vehicles coming on the market. And Kawashi, who previously headed up Sony's AI robotics division, also said that incorporating the PS5 platform into their cars was also technically possible, technologically possible. And that's another tie-in too, because you may not even have to go and build a separate app system. So say for Tesla, they have to have individual specific apps kind of built in with their car and car systems. And I think that's an intriguing thing to note. I think that's cool, but when you can have it all built in on the PlayStation 5 platform that's already being made by all these consumers, say the update, but they just did the updated Spotify app, updated Disney Plus app, they have all the probably Netflix apps, or other things, say Crunchyroll, Funimation, that are also tied into with the cars themselves. As you do all of this, it makes a lot of sense because it's already built on the platform. You don't need to build new apps, new specific custom-made Tesla-type monitors on a car because it's already made on the PS5. Just kind of plug and play and make it possible. So basically, the chair of the joint venture, Yoshida Mizuno, who previously headed up Honda Cars, said that the company is building its production processes around putting content first, and then would like to introduce this first car model into the market in North America by 2025. So this is actually maybe something they're working in throughout the next 2 or 3 years, because don't forget it's almost 2023. And I'm kind of curious, would you guys buy one of these? Now, I'm still very much on the middle side where I myself want an electric car. I think electric cars are very sick, but the part two of it is that it's really, really hard to go make a lot of these processes kind of be ever long. Because on 2025, the PlayStation 5 console might be getting a little old unless they do an internal PlayStation 5 Pro, which would make it a little bit elongated. But then also what happens 5, 10, 15 years from then, or maybe they're not thinking that far. So with Tesla's rapid ascent to becoming one of the world's most valuable car companies, overtaking the likes of Japanese giants such as Toyota, the EV market has transformed into a race with tech companies like Apple and Google also developing EVs alongside traditional car producers. And also kind of ties into where a lot of countries are trying to push for pure electric car vehicles on the road in the near future, and they want to get rid of these gas cars. So, however, though, with Sony Honda, wanting to put content first means that another hotly tipped feature requires development. To enjoy the space in your car, you have to make sure it's a space where you don't need to drive, and that is kind of a big deal. So the solution is basically for this autonomous driving. Kawashi told the Financial Times, with the Sony engineer having experience with robot dog Aibu and the PS3. So they're basically also trying to integrate PlayStation technology to also help with AI and self-driving AI although I'm still a little bit scared on full driving. It is getting better as time goes on. So this will still take time to evolve, the engineer added. The Financial Times interviewed an analyst who believes that the joint venture is a way for Sony to market its capabilities, which is smart with its consoles and movies, by showing off what it can do in building a smaller but premium brand. So then they could go and sell services and content offerings to larger other car vehicles too, and using this as a stepping stone, and also have long-term, basically production combination. So in the meantime, playing your PS5 in your car isn't so easy, so set your calendars for 2025. We might go and see it. So give me your thoughts and comments down below. I think this is super nifty and super cool, and I think this is probably one of the more unexpected partnerships that might actually go and work. So make sure you guys are subscribed for the PS5 giveaway, Xbox giveaway, and $500 cash. We have the Twitter and Twitch stream down below. We have the Amazon links down below. We have the Target links too, and I appreciate you guys all so much for watching. Definitely follow the Twitter and Twitch for bonus entries though as well.